Hi, everybody. Here's my commentary for Dobie Gray's version of Drift Away, which was done in 1973. Dobie had a career that spanned about 50 years from the 1960s until his death in 2011. He was born Lawrence Darrow Brown and grew up in a family of sharecroppers in the South. He had been born in Texas. Family were sharecroppers. He had a heavy gospel influence in his music. I think that's evident by listening to Drift Away. He moved to Los Angeles in the early 1960s to pursue an acting career. That was his main thing, was to get into acting. He did have a hit musically in 1965 with a song called The In Crowd. I'm in with the in crowd. I don't even think I'm in key there, but it sounded something like that. And did actually perform acting-wise in the LA production of Hair for 2.5 years. He's recorded under the name of Leonard Ainsworth, Larry Curtis, and Larry Dennis. Interestingly, Sonny Bono was a producer at the time, prior to Sonny and Cher, the act, probably right around the same time, actually, suggested that he change his name to Dobie Gray because of the popularity of a TV show named The Life and Loves of Dobie Gillis. And you may have a distant memory. I do have a distant memory of that show. He was in a band in the early 70s called Pollution. The band was managed by someone named Max Baer Jr., and if that name don't ring a bell, golly, Uncle Jed. Well, that was Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies, if you recall, Max Baer Jr. By the way, he's quite an interesting character, too. There's a lot we don't know about Max Baer Jr., maybe a lot we shouldn't know either. So Drift Away was put out in 1973, written by Mentor Williams. Mentor is the brother of Paul Williams, the famed songwriter who wrote for the Carpenters and wrote for, let's see, who else did he write for? I'm drawing a blank here. He wrote for the Carpenters. He also wrote the Rainbow Connection for the Muppets. Yeah, Chuck.
Can I put this feed for the dogs in your fridge for a little while?
Yeah, you can.
I got them some hearts and I don't have room for it.
Okay.
That be okay with you, honey?
It will.
You're such a nice guy.
Oh, thank you.
Nice fucking guy.
All right, thank you. I'm right in the middle of recording my commentary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. So I'm going to keep going. So just to let you know.
I'll be quiet.
All right, let me see where I. Okay, so let me see where I left off here. Drift Away was put out in 1973. Drift Away was written by someone named Mentor Williams. Mentor is the brother, or was the brother, of Paul Williams, songwriter who wrote things like Evergreen for Barbra Streisand. He even wrote the Rainbow Connection, the Muppets song, and also some things for the Carpenters. He also wrote some songs for the movie Ishtar, and that actually happens to be one of my favorite movies. It's about bad songwriters, and so when they commissioned him to write the songs for Ishtar, it was like, hey, Paul, could you come up with an album of bad songs? Probably the first time a songwriter has been ever asked to come up with bad songs, but these were bad songwriters. And the songs on the movie are hilarious. We only get to hear snippets of them, and somewhere there is a soundtrack recorded in a vault somewhere, and Columbia Pictures, I believe, will not release those, and that makes me very angry. I wish that they would, because I would love to hear the rest of those songs. Anyway, back to Dobie Gray and the commentary here. The guitar, the iconic guitar part was played by a session player named Reggie Young. Reggie, you might recognize some of his other guitar playing if you've ever heard that nice guitar part in Billy Swan's I Can Help. That has a nice intro and also the nice guitar middle in I Can Help. That was played by Reggie Young. He also played the guitar on Bobby Gentry's Son of a Preacher Man, that had a really nice guitar intro, among a number of other hits at the time. So Reggie Young, he mentioned that he had forgotten how to play that because he said that we play these songs in a session with musicians and bands, and then we never play with them live or never play in a band with them. So we totally forget all about them. So he said that was kind of unique, is that they worked hard crafting these guitar parts and then they never played them anywhere else. Dobie asked him in 1997 to come back in the studio and recut Drift Away with him. And he said, no, man, I can't play it even as well as I used to play it. Forget about it. So that's kind of an interesting thing about session players. Dobie mused about some misheard lyrics to that song in an interview, saying that people were thinking, the actual lyric is, give me the beat, boys, that frees my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Well, he was saying that people had thought that it was, give me the Beach Boys that freed my soul. Give me the meatballs of all things. I actually used to think it was, give me the people who freed my soul. But it's give me the Beat Boys. Okay. What's the meaning of that song? Well, in a world where the world is crushing the dogs, in a world where the world is crushing you and you're confused and you're at wit's end and you're strained, which sounds like a daily occurrence for many people, Dobie says he finds solace and salvation in the music itself. Okay, now that's very profound if you think about it. Think about all the times that music has helped you feel better in your life and is there for you. When you're, it's there when you're joyful, it's there when you're down, and you find your salvation in music. And I know that that's true for most of us here. That song was brought back by Uncle Kracker. Uncle Kracker, also known as Matthew Schaefer, real name, did a duet with Dobie Gray in 2003, and Dobie's on the record, Matthew Schaefer, Uncle Kracker's on the record. Uncle Kracker was the turntablist. I didn't even know that was an actual instrument, turntable. But apparently it's now an instrument in a band, turntable. What do you play? I play the turntable. Okay. That used to be like, we used to say, what do you play? Oh, I play the radio, or I play the records. But now the turntable is actually, with a wicka, 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 that stuff, that's an instrument now, apparently. So Uncle Kracker was the turntablist for Kid Rock. Okay. Drift Away has been covered by a lot of people, notables like Roy Orbison, Ike and Tina Turner, Rod Stewart, Waylon Jennings, who else? Ray Charles, the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen covered it, John Kay covered it, and so did Garth Brooks. And now I've covered it, so I don't know if I belong in that company, but I'm putting myself in there anyway. Okay. We can't forget the sponsor. This week's sponsor is McElhaney's original brand Tabasco red pepper sauce. I don't think I said that right. But this stuff is great. You put it on everything. I like it on pizza. I like it on spaghetti. I have never tried it on oatmeal. I don't think it would be good on that. But on eggs, it's good on like an omelet. Make an omelet, a cheese omelet, and pour some of this stuff in. This stuff is the shits, I'm telling you. And it might give you the shits if you eat too much, to tell you the truth. It's so good, you can have it out of the bottle. Oh. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Please leave your comments. Thank you. Have a great day.